So, who do you think is the most degenerate streamer of all time? I mean, maybe you think it's a certain VTuber, because VTubers, they be doing some degenerate things, man. They be doing like they have those little cute little anime characters on screen, but behind scenes, bro, behind the camera, bro, they might be doing some the most obscene, disgusting, degenerate shit you ever seen before. You feel me? Now I got nothing against VTubers, trust me. But like I'm just saying. Anyway, maybe you think it's someone like Morg Pie who initiated this kind of Twitch era for a hot second by starting off with like a topless stream where she would shake her tatas. I mean, obviously you couldn't see the breastises, you couldn't see them, but she would like shake it every time someone subbed. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe you think it's someone like Tectone. I mean, man's been in like controversy after controversy after controversy. I think the recent one is like him with his I guess ex-girlfriend Pink Chew or whatever. But I mean, and Mans does like goon over anime waifus, and I mean, I don't blame him, bro, because like the waifus be waifus for a reason. You feel me? Yeah, but maybe, just maybe, according to, or at least according to Royalty is Here, which is who we're reacting to today, the most degenerate streamer is just the most disgusting streamer instead. That's where their degeneracy comes from. And we'll get into that in just a hot second. But first, if you're new here, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Like the video even if you're old and you already subscribed. Just go ahead, help your boy out. I am trying to get to over to 1,000 subscribers soon, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Also, follow me on my socials. I was told I don't like promote my socials enough, like my Twitter and shit. So go ahead and follow me on Twitter, on my socials. They're either in the description below or like they'll pop up around somewhere on the screen sometimes. I think they popped up at least in 2 minutes ago. It probably popped up. You can check me on that if you want. But anyway, and don't forget to subscribe. Let's get into this. I ain't gonna spoil who the most degenerate streamer is. But I'm gonna go ahead and we gonna check this video out. Let's get into it, bruh.
So if I asked you who the most disgusting person on the internet was, chances are people that might make that list is a person like Christian, who had all the personality features of a hoarder, and obviously I'm not talking about the crimes they did as well. Another candidate may be Lovely Peaches, who made a song about her vagina experiencing a yeast infection.
My pussy. Oh, I remember hearing about her. Like, obviously everybody's heard about Christian, but like I don't remember who this chick is, but I remember hearing this weird ass song popping off. Or not pop. Yeah, I guess it had a little hot streak for a hot second. I was like, what is this shit? This is not what. Ew. Like, bitch, you need to go to the doctor. You need to get that shit checked out. She been ran through. Like, if anybody wants to go raw on her after she put the song out, y'all weird, bro.
Burning and itching.
That's probably a scratch and sniff that would induce vomiting. She also made some weird comments about her own child.
I'm so happy right now because I'm going to kill my own baby.
Maybe even the name at the bottom of the list would be yourself, because we all know what you did that one night when you were unsupervised with an empty Pringles can and a glove.
I mean, Pringles cans be too small. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't talking about the big Pringles cans. I'm talking about the little Pringles cans. Anyway.
you complete degenerate. But no, someone that I would have in my head would be Asmongold, which in no way is worse than any of the names I just mentioned. In fact, he would be considered a clean freak and diagnosed with obsessive cleaning disorder. Maybe Mr. Sillet Bang himself. That's a UK joke, you wouldn't get it, because he's in no way comparable to any of these people. However, Asmongold, or Zach, is an interesting case of someone that has an income equivalent to 10 times your yearly salary, but lives in a slum like it was a RuneScape dungeon, and he was the dungeon boss hoarding all the gold.
Now, to be fair, he did at least clean his room recently, but only because he was banned from Twitch for like 2 weeks, I think, for what he said. Let's just leave it at that. And yeah, that's the only reason he cleaned his room, and he cleaned his house a little bit. He didn't even finish cleaning the whole house. He cleaned part of his house. He at least cleaned the kitchen. It's probably fucked up again now, but he at least cleaned it. It was at least clean for a hot second. So, you know, hey, if Twitch wants to ban him for like a month, he might actually clean the whole house. You know what I'm saying? And that could actually be good, because when he has people visiting, they catch, like, you know what I'm saying? They start feeling sick. So he can't even have like events at his own house because people just get sick as soon as they walk in and they're there for 5 minutes. Like, bro, you gotta, Twitch, like, for 1 month, just ban him one more time. Let him clean his place, and then maybe he'll have some like grand event with some other OTK members. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? It might be good for him for a hot second.
The gold being a colony of cockroaches and moldy Wendy's cups. But today I wanted to talk about Asmongold because at some point he was almost considered a lolcow and one of the most putrid streamers alive, with key events considered a lolcow.
A lolcow is, for those of you who are only listening, a person or a group of people laughed at for actions that they take, despite not trying to be funny. They may try to take themselves seriously, but are often milked, giggity, for laughs, with or without their knowledge.
And one of the most putrid streamers alive, with key events like using a dead rat as an alarm clock, and because he is someone I've been following for a while. Not physically, because the slipstream of dead cockroaches and rodents would make it impossible. I think I'd rather deal with Nurgle himself than that. And because despite his living conditions, controversies, and somewhat hard life initially, he has risen to be one of the most engaging and popular streamers, and quite possibly on the horizon might change his act entirely.
Yo, it's me. It's your boy Asmongold. It's your boy Asmongold.
Now, Asmongold or Zach had their initial debut on the internet on YouTube was in 2008 with World of Warcraft videos. World of Warcraft at this point is basically the pre-game lobby before the nursing home, with the average age of the consistent player being in their late 50s with constant reminiscing and complaining how Blizzard screwed the game up and it's not as good as the good old days like Wrath of the Lich King. And aside from that fact, in 2009, most of you weren't even conceived yet, and the world had just been blessed with the best Call of Duty of all time, and I had just gained awareness of my existence. Around this time, Zach...
Bro, why is it that through this whole flashback kind of scene, this person from Ray Zero keeps popping up? And if you guys don't know, that this is a trap. I mean, I know they look like a cute little girl, but they got a dangalang. You know what I'm saying? And this, I mean, I know a lot of you degenerates out there will be like, the dick makes it better, PaperSin. What are you talking about? Stop it. Stop it.
Around this time, Zach was uploading to his channel Zach Raw, a mostly uploaded WoW content, sprinkled in with some home life content that looks like it was filmed on a flip phone, and was the precursor to Cloverfield. But you could also see some wholesome videos, like his mom hitting level 60 in WoW, which is quite the time sink. But this went on for quite a while.
Congrats.
WoW videos followed by random videos of his life, or ranting at the camera and acting like he just got shocked with a taser.
Fuck you think I run IC?
But from these early videos you can see the first glimpse of a raw personality, unrefined and certainly rough around the edges, but would later evolve to be his best selling point, and said selling point was about to get a growth spurt when in 2011 he began streaming on Twitch, which Twitch in 2011 was a very different place than it is today. The website barely worked and I'm pretty sure you had people streaming Hell's Kitchen 24/7, on top of the fact nobody even knew about it. But it was a temporary place for Asmongold, whose first few streams had no viewers whatsoever, so he quickly gave up and still made YouTube videos. In 2013 his personality had somewhat grown, and he was a lot more charismatic on camera. Like this video.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Asmongold.
But he was starting to see the fruits of his labour, but not for the reason you'd expect. One of his videos would get posted to the front page of Reddit, showing the deplorable conditions he was living in, and appropriately titled Asmongold Lair. And after seeing this success, he exclaimed he didn't really mind people on Reddit critiquing him and saying he was disgusting. A key point of his personality, which is shown today. He just did not give a fuck.
And I'm not gonna lie, like I've seen, if I remember the name, the YouTuber's name, I would say who they are and I would play a clip here. But I've seen people also trying to like copy Asmongold's way of claim to fame by showing how disgusting their rooms are and how messy their rooms are, and then talking about how they have roaches that crawl over their toothbrush and they still brush their teeth with it without like washing it first or some shit like that. I've seen people like talking about that, and so like that's one problem in my opinion with Asmongold's kind of claim to fame. Like other people are trying to duplicate that, and that's like fucking disgusting. Yeah, I mean, yeah, do what you do, right? Nobody can judge you except you. But like, I'm gonna judge, and it's gonna be like, bro, like it's gotta be. I know it's gotta be unhealthy for a reason, right? Yeah, maybe Asmongold has an immunity to his own room because he's always there, and if other people come over, they start feeling sick within like I said before, 5 minutes of being there. And maybe the other people that are trying to duplicate Asmongold's rise to fame are doing the same, are the same. Like maybe they're immune to their own room, but if other people go in, you know what I'm saying, it's a hazardous for their health. Either way, like people like, and you gotta give Asmongold props for this as well. He tries to say people should not try to live like him. He does say that every now and then. I've seen him say it. But there are people that try to live like him and duplicate his claim to fame. And that, in my opinion, is fucking disgusting and hazardous and just like, don't know, bro. Like, what? Ew, the fuck? But anyway, let's get back to it.
I'm not embarrassed. Like, if I was embarrassed, I'd clean it up. I cleaned it up. Wait, that means I am embarrassed. Shit.
His cum dungeon had just been exposed to the entire world. People thought he was living in some third world country, when in fact he was living in America. Okay, fair point. It may as well be one. And he was fine.
Okay, fair point. America may as well be a third world country. But he's in like Texas, I think. Austin, Texas?
With it, and got a lot of subscribers and attention from it, even labeling the video #finallyfamous, and saying he was going to change his life, and to mark the occasion of said decision, it was a Sprite day.
I'll tell you one thing in those comments that made me do, you know, I'm eating healthy today. I'm only having a Sprite. I was going to have a Dr. Pepper. I thought to myself, you know what? I got to get my life turned around. Today is a Sprite day.
Which is something as...
And that's him turning his life around, even though he still has 2 fucked up back teeth, or like a couple messed up couple messed up teeth that are fake or whatever, had to be replaced. Like, bruh, it's a split, but it was a Sprite day. At least that, right?
Asmongold adored. He loved sugary drinks and fast food, something that in the modern day he is known for, even gagging on water because it didn't have any sugary goodness.
better. Wow.
Bro,
Who the
seriously.
fuck drinks this shit?
And don't even get me started on the $2 steak argument, but this is something that would impact his life later down the line. And the statement he was going to turn his life around and it was a Sprite day would not be a prophecy that would come true anytime soon.
Yeah,
but right now he had
hold.
just got his first dose of fame, and it was only up from there. People had seen this personality, and some had begun to love our dirty little degenerate. He began uploading general life videos on top of WoW content, but decided to start a channel only for WoW content in 2014, and he named it Asmongold. There he began uploading regular WoW videos, with the occasional rant video about WoW, to the Asmongold channel, and saw varying success, arguably down to his personality and his informative videos on WoW. But when he hit a decent amount of subscribers, he decided to make a decision that would greatly impact his life going forward, and that was to start streaming again.
What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today I've kind of got a little bit of an announcement to make, is that I'm going to start streaming.
And when he eventually did, he got over 250 people to watch him live on his first day streaming back. And ever since, he has been actively streaming. His audience had fell in love with him from his zero personality.
I don't care about laws, I don't care about rules, I don't care about contracts, I don't care about anything. I only care about what I think is right and what I think is wrong.
To the disturbing stories he would tell about his environment.
How many teeth did you lose?
I have a single-digit number of actual real teeth left.
And his following
What
only
the
seemed
fuck?
to keep growing every year. Some could argue his life had significantly changed. He eventually could go full-time streaming and making content, and he could sustain himself doing that. He got gifts from Twitch, met other popular streamers, and even found his own org in 2020, named One True King. And he achieved all of this from playing World of Warcraft and giving his opinion on things, mainly the latest drama. But one thing that didn't change ironically,
I mean, whether or not he's a degenerate, dirty ass streamer and his house will get other people sick. I mean, you gotta give him props for his, you know what I'm saying, for his rise. Whether, like, even no matter what he's done, he's still risen, and he has tried to tell other people to not try to imitate him in his lifestyle. So, you know, shout out to him. You feel me? Like, man's did his thing. Man's just living the dream that a lot of people want to follow, including me. But subscribe. But let's get back to the video.
was his lifestyle. Now, seeing as though this video is titled The Most Degenerate Streamer, that title would need some credibility behind it. And believe me, there is a laundry list of the most disgusting things this guy has done, apart from the fact he lives in a slum and quite literally has the diet of an adult rodent, to the point where he let his own teeth erode. But there are a few other things he's mentioned on stream, quite proudly to be honest, are downright deplorable and horrifying. And just to warm you up with one of the most lukewarm instances, we all know Asmongold lives in a trash heap.
Here we go.
And from said trash heap, he gets regular visits from cockroaches.
There's a roach flying at me. Give me a minute.
Where'd he go?
Oh shit! He's on my belly. Look at him. He's right there. He got, oh god! Get him out of me.
What are you doing, bro? Get out of my, go in the garbage can.
Black mold. And things like rats and raccoons, some of which he's actually made his pets and feeds regularly like the raccoons.
We get a fucking raccoon. We get a fucking raccoon. And so we go out in the backyard and I see this dumb mother. Because like we captured them with peanut butter, right? And so Jeff's idea, this dumb motherfucker likes peanut butter so much he got himself put in a cage. Go get me the peanut butter. So we go get the peanut butter. Jeff starts putting peanut butter on the raccoon. And we put peanut butter all over the raccoon while he's sitting in the cage. And he's fucking pissed.
Those are going to be some fat raccoons on an American diet. He also openly admitted when his teeth were actively eroding away and his gums were trying desperately to part way with said teeth. He would wipe blood from said process on the walls, on top of only showering once a week and referring to it as an earth shield.
I know this might be a surprise, but I shower about once a week, and it works just fine. That is what you call an earth shield, okay? And it works really goddamn well.
Bro, like honestly, to get an earth shield, I think you would have to go outside into the environment of that is Earth. Even it's more than just living on Earth. But you would have to go outside, touch grass, be in the environment of Earth, and then, instead of just letting your own dead skin pile up on your body. It's not an Earth shield. It's a dead skin shield that he's got. Bro. Yo, y'all should shower more often. I think the least somebody should shower is like once every 3 days at the very least, if you just don't like showering. But like, bruh.
Asmongold's trying to pull off that tough cosplay, and he also only brushes his teeth a handful of times a year. This guy's immune system from constantly farming XP from the lesser bacteria that even attempt to get in his body and are met with an inhospitable environment.
Oh no!
And probably suffocate to death, or just say GG's next game, have made this guy's immune system an impenetrable apex predator. Like, this guy could tank the most potent and toxic nerve agent, get up the next day and probably cook his signature meal, the only meal he knows how to cook, microwave potatoes and $2 steak cooked.
Bruh, hold on. Like, Asmongold has lived with roaches so much that he's evolved into a human roach. And you know how they say like roaches could survive a nuclear explosion? Let's say a nuke drops, everybody's dropping nukes around the world. The world is just completely destroyed. The only thing that lives on is roaches and Asmongold. Bruh.
Well done is probably the worst thing on this list. Who eats their f***ing steak well done? You want to be sat there chewing for about 30 minutes, a little 2x2 centimeter fucking piece of steak, like Mike Tyson chewing on his glove, like.
Bruh, like I try to stay away from red meat. Every now and then I might have something, but first off, I don't even eat steak. I prefer a pescatarian diet, which is like seafood and vegetables for the most part. Just the only meat is like seafood. I will venture out and go for chicken and like rarely have red meat. And I just don't eat steaks at all.
That is actually a war crime. But that does not trump his worst voluntary incident yet. So when we all wake up, we usually wake up to an alarm, or maybe the sun finally glistening against our skin. But Asmongold was a bit different. He didn't have just a normal alarm clock.
Oh, the rat.
He had a biological, basically taxidermy one, because he would wake up when the sun started cooking the dead rat under his bed. And the putrid smell originating from the eroding corpse, he would use as an indication it's time to wake up. He basically had a rat alarm clock, and was proud of it.
The thing is, I used to use a dead rat as an alarm clock, actually, for my stream, because basically what happened was, whenever the sun would come up, it would start cooking the corpse of the rat, and then it would start smelling again, and then the smell would wake me up. So I would use the rat effectively as an alarm clock, and as soon as it got hot enough, it would wake me up, and then I would know, oh shit, it's time to stream. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about, right?
No.
Once again, this guy is a millionaire and lives like this and uses a dead rat as an alarm clock. You could quite literally say the fame never changed him. He is the most authentic streamer. But why is he like this? Is it a case of habit or just the way he grew up? Did he forget the credentials to his bank account and just never resolved it?
Now, I was thinking like, okay, at least he never changed. But technically he did change. You know what I'm saying? Like, his ego grew, but not in a way as a lot of people who get like start getting famous or whatever, and like their ego just takes over and they start doing crypto scams or doing some other shit because they don't give a fuck about their followers or the people that actually like them. They will Logan Paul some shit easily. But at least his ego didn't grow that big at first, but he did grow to, his ego grew to the point where he's like, no matter what I say, I'm always right. And that led him to saying some bad stuff that he shouldn't have said about current countries that are involved in certain activities. And he that's why he got banned from Twitch for like 2 weeks. And so yeah, I wouldn't say that he didn't change. He did change because that ego still grew. But he, for the most part, I would say he's still him. I guess from what he used to be. I guess I don't know, because I don't know what he used to be. I don't know him, but he didn't change like other people, like some other people did.
Or is this an experiment by the government seeing if Tarzan could survive the modern world? Well, there's actually a long and very understandable reason for why he is like this.
Brother,
So on October 1st, 2024, everyone's questions and requests on why Asmongold lives like this were finally answered. But it was not the answer many would expect. And throughout the whole 35-minute video, he talks about almost the entirety of his life. Turns out he lived like this and actively let his teeth erode and fall out due to the fact he never thought he would live that long. And it all started in high school. Socializing was not an innate skill to him. He always felt left out and people treated him as such.
And so I've always had a big problem being able to understand like where, how you should act, how you should treat people, what you should do, how you should say things, etc. So almost everything that I do is a learned performance rather than an innate social, instinct, if that makes sense.
He also wasn't good at school, failing his first semester with a 0.8 GPA, which apparently is hard to do.
Because my first semester in that high school, I had a GPA of a 0.08. It was actually impressive. It was hard to do. I had to go out of my way for this.
And on top of that, him and his mother weren't doing so well financially and were barely scraping by.
Growing up, my mom was, I think there was maybe 2 years or so where she made above the poverty level in terms of income. And so we basically barely skated by most of the time.
Even to the point on cold nights, he wouldn't even have heating. So he'd go to bed freezing.
Same time that, the house is fucking, we can barely pay for the house. We're worried about getting evicted from the house. We have no AC. Or no, we did have AC. We didn't have heat. And so, I would go to sleep and like the house would be so cold. And I always viewed it as like, I'm sleeping out on Mount Everest, right? It's like, I'm cosplaying as Bear Grylls.
And his mom's health at that time was starting to deteriorate, where after school he would have to take care of her and often sacrifice his own comfort so she could be more comfortable. And he did not sleep well because of it, because throughout the night he would be tending to his mother almost every 4 hours, and sometimes she would scream out in pain, which sometimes made him worry and sometimes mistakenly hear her screaming, so he'd be checking on her even if she didn't need help.
Happened, and pretty much like her health would deteriorate more and more and more to the point where she couldn't drive, she couldn't do X, she couldn't do Y, she couldn't get a job anymore. And then it relied on me more and more to completely support her. I got to the point where like at this time period, I would wake up like every 2 hours or so with like a weird thing where I would hear her screaming my name. And this went on for maybe like 6 months to a year.
And when she was seriously ill, she would beg him not to call the ambulance because they could not afford it.
She would like beg, like she was like on the ground like crying, begging me not to call an ambulance. And so this was very upsetting.
And due to this, he stopped thinking about what other people thought about him and stopped putting effort into social norms, which is when his degeneracy started. But one of the main reasons behind it that he says quite plainly in the video was that he always thought he was going to end his life after high school.
So like after everything he had to go through, and everything his mom had to go through, rest in peace to her. But a switch kind of eventually flipped in his own head, and he was just like, "Why care anymore?" Damn.
I had always assumed that I would kill myself after high school. Like that was my plan. And
so he just gave up on things like taking care of himself and cleaning his teeth. But due to a World of Warcraft expansion, he actually forgot to follow through with said plan.
you know, Wrath of the Lich King came out and I just got distracted. I forgot. And so I ended up not doing that.
In the video, he also states,
So hold up. World of Warcraft saved his life. A video game saved his life. Shout out. Shout out. I mean, you can't say that about too many video games. I mean, I know I can't say that about League of Legends. But it's nice that a video game did that for him. Also, I'm taking a break from League. That shit is toxic as fuck. That shit's annoying. But anyway, I'm playing more Apex these days, which is also toxic. But at least I can mute everybody and, you know, try to solo carry sometimes in some situations. You feel me? Or revive dead teammates. So, you know what I'm saying? It's all good. In League, it's like, bro, it's League. It's League of Legends, bro. That's all I can say. Anyway.
he was constantly prioritizing his mother and was constantly scared she would die, something of which did unfortunately happen in October of 2021, which really didn't make his antics worse, it just increased a tad bit. So to answer the question why he lived like this, he basically thought he was never going to live past high school, so just stopped putting effort into things. But recently he's been attempting to change his life, even a before and after picture of his kitchen clean. But the video he posted actually received a lot of positive feedback, and a lot of people understood why he would live like this now. And
Zach is one of the realest people online. Wish I had this level of self-acceptance. You are helping all of us with your story. You are a truly remarkable individual. I always assumed I would KMS, then Wrath of the Lich King came out and I just sort of forgot. Bars, dude. It's nice to get to know you a little better.
the fact he was trying to actually change and lose the thought process he has nothing else to lose and he's eventually going to end it. But cleaning his kitchen was a first good step, but a lot of people credit it to the fact around the same time he was banned on Twitch due to some very controversial things he said.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure he also said when he came back after his 2-week ban, he said, I was banned, so I cleaned my kitchen. So I cleaned a little bit, just not the whole house, just the kitchen. Like, I'm pretty sure he said that. So, I mean, that's why people are attributing the cleaning to his ban, because he said that.
About the Palestine and Gaza conflict.
If you want to consider a genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people, they have genocide built into Sharia law right now. So no, I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a fuck. They're terrible people. People are not your allies. They are not the same as us. They come from an inferior culture that is horrible. It kills people for their identity, and it is directly antithetical to everything Western values stand for.
Just because one country does some people, just because a group of people do things differently does not make them inferior. Just like, this is the whole, like, that right there, everything he's just said is kind of like the whole I'm just because I'm in the West and I live in the West, I'm better than everybody type of vibe. Like, and this country is not doing things right, so we need to go and teach them how to actually live life correctly because they're breathing wrong. Like, that's that kind of superiority complex that a lot of Westerners have. And like bro, just because we live in the West doesn't mean we know better than everybody else. We have our own problems, and fuck, we're probably not even doing things right. We're just doing things as what we think is right. There's probably a better way to do things, and if other people are doing, if other people who are doing things better but also don't have the superiority complex that we have, if they're doing things better, they're just gonna look at us like, they'll get there. Give them time. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being like, you guys are inferior because you're living life wrong and you're doing this and this and this and this. Your society is like this, so you're just inferior. Like, that's no, you can't do that. That's that Western superiority complex. You know what I'm saying? And I do live here in the West in America, but like, I ain't vibing with that shit. Like, I don't like it, bruh.
for, and it is an inferior culture in all ways.
To which he apologised for, admitted he was wrong and he shouldn't have said that. And a key part of the 2 weeks off he had was reflecting on what he said and actually speaking to some of his fans that were disappointed in him and are involved in the conflict.
Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you all about
At least he apologized. But, you know, obviously, like he said, he shouldn't have said it.
what my reason was for getting suspended on Twitch and also what my plans are going forward. And I don't really want to like mince words or like try to like, oh, I wasn't justifying or, you know, promoting it. I said something about it that was disgusting. I said that I didn't care about innocent people getting killed by another force, by anything. And I think that that's a horrible, disgusting, mean-spirited thing to say. And do you know who reached out to me? And they wanted to talk and have a conversation and see if I was okay. It's people that were Islamic and people that had fucking family in Palestine. And how humiliating is that? How absolutely humiliating is that? And these were the people.
See? Some people are just going to be more humane when other people's superiority complex acts out. Those who are really humane, and even if you were just talking shit about them and their race or their family members, they'll be like, "Hey, are you good, bro? Like, what's wrong?" Like, not with any hate in their heart or mind, but they'll actually reach out and be like, "Hey, man, you good? Like, you want to talk? You need to talk to somebody, or everything okay, man? Like, we can talk. I'll listen to anything you want to say. Just talk to me if you want. Like, is everything good, bro? Like, yeah. See, that's one thing about humans that makes me think humans still have a chance. Y'all still got a chance. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? It gives me hope for the human species.
People I was trying to say were bad, and I feel like such a fucking stupid asshole.
But due to this situation, people are actually blaming him for the recent Twitch adpocalypse. People like Hassan Piker.
When Asmongold is making threats like this against that sort of thing, are gonna hurt other content creators, you know?
But Hassan hasn't said the nicest things either.
America deserved 9/11, dude.
And people like CaseyTron, person who has previously admitted to liking a tweet saying that,
"Yo, this chick really just let herself go." And she just completely let herself go, and then just started the only time she is ever talked about again is when she's trying to talk shit about other people and trying to be controversial. Like, she really let herself go, and then she became irrelevant, and now she just tries to talk random shit about random people, just to keep people from just to remind people that she's still alive. Shit is crazy, bro.
Asmongold killed his mother.
I'll admit, I did like that tweet, and I have a lack of respect for Asmongold after letting his mom with COPD live in those sort of conditions.
And also conforms to the rhetoric that he is to blame for the adpocalypse. But Asmongold is persistently saying it's not his fault this is happening. It's actually due to the fact that Twitch picks favorites and doesn't actually moderate its platform very well and treat all streamers the same. To the point where if two streamers break the same rule, only one of them would get banned that isn't favored by Twitch.
Now, a lot of people have been saying that for a while. So it's not just Asmongold trying to, deflect or point fingers. Like, a lot of people have said that for the longest time. So, it's kind of like a known thing about Twitch.
Which, I mean, he does have a point. An example of this is that if you get banned 3 times in a year, you are supposed to be permanently banned from the platform, no matter your status. But some streamers went unaffected when banned multiple times within a year.
Stinky. Fucking crazy, bro.
But as the most degenerate streamer, I hope Asmongold continues to improve his life so he stops living like a borderline caveman. But I hope to God some of you watching do not relate to this lifestyle and living conditions, because God help you if you do. But it probably is true from the comments I receive, I think the black mold is starting to grow on the surface layer of your brain, because some of you are quite possibly the worst degenerates. But anyway, bye-bye.
That was a good video. I liked it. So shout out to Royalty is here. Thanks to him for making that video. And yeah, shout out to Asmongold for, even though he keeps saying he's gonna turn his life around, but we don't really see any progress until he got banned and cleaned his kitchen. You know, maybe he needs to be banned for like another month just for no reason, just so he can clean again. Or like he needs to just take a break in general so he can like clean and like work on bettering himself. Like mentally, physically, and emotionally, and you know, his surroundings in general. So maybe he can have more people over every now and then, because you know, he if people go over to his house now, sometimes they still just get sick within 5 minutes of being there. So you know, shout out to Asmongold anyway, and shout out to Royalty is here for that great video. As always, links to the video and link to the channel will both be in the description below, so be sure to check them out. And while you're there, don't forget to do those 3 things I like to ask you to do. And like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell for more videos. Yeah. And you know what it is after that, in case I don't see you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Peace, and much love to you.